Wednesday, June 12th, 2024 at 6:10 p.m. This is the Stoughton Redevelopment Authority meeting. And in accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, extends the Governor's March 12, 2023 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until March 31, 2025. This meeting will be conducted both in person and virtually via Google Meets. Recording of the meeting, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceeding will be posted on the town's website and SMAC. Times are approximate and items may be taken out of order at the chair's discretion. I'd like to open the session.
So made.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, present tonight is Robert Desmond, Reggie Nunnally, and Roberta Harback at this time. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, public comments. Do we have any comments from the public? Hearing none. Chairman comments. Yes, I do have a comment first. I'm hoping, since the summer is approaching, and I know we're missing a member, I kind of think I may want to have a meeting in 2 weeks, June 26th. I'm just throwing it out there. I want to get the application process going on our building. It's only 2 weeks away. I'm hoping to wrap that up. I just don't know what anybody's availability would be for Wednesday, June 26th.
Is that because we need to take a vote?
Well, I just kind of want to put together, and I want everybody's feedback too, input on questions for the vendors over there. I'd like to make out an application. This project is coming to an end, and I would hate to have to wait a month. And if we can kind of maybe wrap things up, because I want to show the prospective vendors the building. And I just think, I know y'all going to be taking off, and it's going to be getting hot, and I don't know when y'all leaving, or if you can remote. I mean, it's up to you, which you can work on the 26th.
I'll be here either remote or...
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will work for you.
I can do that.
Is it going to work for you too?
Yeah, that's fine right now. Yep, absolutely.
And, all right, so we'll vote on it when Peter gets here. And we should also we're having a meeting next Tuesday. Probably should wait for him since I'm kind of wrapping up. We do have a prospective applicant.
Could be a town hall.
That would be a town hall next Tuesday, tentatively, as far as I know. That's what it's supposed to be.
So Lisa.
Lisa, yeah. So we need 3 of us there. I will be there. We at least need a quorum there. Do you think you'll be able to come?
Yeah, just give me the date on that.
18th?
Sounds good. What about you, Bob?
Yeah, I don't have anything on my calendar as of now,
And
so.
they start their
Is it
meetings
18th in the evening?
Yeah.
I can do it in the evening, I'll be back
Okay.
that day.
And their
I'll be
meetings don't
rushing it.
start till 7. Who
Probably
knows
first
where?
or last.
Thank you. We'll see where we end up. All right, so at least we got 3 of us.
Yeah.
And that way this new person could be at that meeting on the 20th. It's just kind of a way to.
Yeah.
That's
They actually have to be here.
Oh, yeah, they're going to
that's
do an
right.
interview. Yeah, okay. So that was my chairman comments. Bob, do you have any comments?
I do not.
Reggie, do you have any
I
comments?
do not.
Donna, do you have any comments?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Consent agenda. Minutes of the previous minute? Anybody have anything about the consent agenda they want to say, approve?
I read that they seem to be in order,
Yeah.
so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all vote aye, unanimous, Don. Okay, the next is paid bills. Any questions or comments on the paid bills?
I would not be able to come on the 26th.
Oh, that's all part of the consent agenda, sorry, unpaid bills and correspondence, okay, so this is our last person, okay.
Miss Jen and I will not be able to be here on the 26th.
Oh, okay.
But, we'll be taking minutes anyway.
No, she's talking about
Oh, the
what I would
26th.
like to do. And here comes Peter Buckley.
Hello.
So, before I continue, do you have any comments?
No.
No. I wanted to know, I was talking to everybody about a meeting in 2 weeks from now on June 26th. I know it's not a regularly scheduled meeting. One of us would have to take minutes if Donna can't be here. We're gonna hopefully have a new member, and I want to get the application process worked on for, but I don't know if that even works for you.
Yeah, I have nothing right now.
Okay, will you be sad if you're not here?
No, I'm driving back from Pennsylvania.
Okay, no, it's gonna be a very light, it's not gonna be a regular meeting, it will just be more meeting the new person and talking about.
Okay, someone will have to file the agenda.
Okay, that's fine. All right, all right,
So
so
let
we
me
did,
get these dates right. 26th is our meeting,
yeah,
right? And the 18th is the town.
right. So there's supposed to be a meeting Tuesday, 18th, for applicant for the new position, SRA appointment.
What's the joint?
Yes, we will be able to make it. Okay. All right, so we did paid bills, unpaid bills, correspondence. Do you have any questions on all that? Even though it's already accepted. Okay, good.
The paid bills are, I see it, I just didn't print it out. Is that the bills for SRA? Or are they mixed in?
They're next.
They're mixed
They're
in?
right there.
But I did put Perry and Pearl next to them.
Okay. So unpaid bills is what we're talking about.
Yeah, it was part of the consent agenda, right?
Paid bills first, then unpaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only had a question on paid. I had
The
a,
only thing that was paid was
no, I had a question on, plumber,
Yeah,
but everything else I'm okay.
okay, so you still have a question on the phone?
I do have a question on the
Sure.
plumber because that invoice that
Oh,
we
it was
got.
on a scratch of paper, literally.
Yeah.
I can try to get something better from him.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, that's fine.
Because that looked like,
I mean, literally, I had nothing in my car, he had nothing in his truck. I said, just write it on a
yeah.
something, so I
It's
have
good that we
something.
know that we owe him $160.
No, we paid him, we ended up
You know,
paying, he did the
but
work,
he
yeah.
should,
Yeah, I can ask him to make us something better.
yeah.
Maybe letterhead or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got insurance and everything, right?
Yeah, he's legit, he's from the town, so, yeah,
It's
you
okay.
didn't like that, huh?
Huh?
You didn't like that, huh?
That was a little different, I must admit.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, so let's move on to item 624 Perry Street. Okay, I had put on here, asked Donna to put on about a letter to the tenant and a letter to the neighbor, because Donna received a call regarding the tenant putting her trash there. And I called her, and I believe the tenant has not been putting her trash there. She's been taking it. This was discussed way back last August when we looked at the property. So I don't think we need to send a letter, in my opinion. I don't think we need to keep going back and forth with these people. He's not parking there anymore. She's not leaving her trash. Does anybody feel the need to write either of them a letter?
So what transpired? You got a,
Donna could tell you. She took the call.
Received a voicemail on the SRA
Yeah.
voicemail box that in the past they allowed the hair salon to put their trash on their driveway in exchange for being allowed to park in
Yeah.
that. And there was trash on their property apparently, and they called and said, we're not allowing that any longer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and she's indicating that,
She's indicated to me since the summer that she doesn't put her trash there.
yeah.
So should we send the person that sent us the message that we at least inform them? Just so that we have a trail that.
Yeah, we acknowledged it and, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'll volunteer to put something together, something, one paragraph.
Yeah, basically just stating, because I do believe that she isn't doing it.
Yeah, probably.
Like just saying that we indicated to her.
Yeah.
And I actually did, like I said, I spoke with her about it, but yeah, if you want to throw a quick letter together, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, that way we'll have something that says we respond and just leave it alone.
We'll make that a motion, actually.
This motion to draft a letter acknowledging the trash complaint
To the next
to
one.
the next door neighbor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. All right, Reggie, you're still gonna talk. Finance review. I guess this is you.
Okay, let me see.
We don't,
Well-
I'm sorry, we don't need to contact the tenant regarding
No, I've
the,
already spoken to
Yeah,
her.
she's already spoken to it.
okay.
I opened up the account,
Yeah,
$10,000 at 5 point whatever it was.
yeah,
And what I did was told the bank manager to expect that there may be three other signatories on there. So he gave me this. So anybody that wants to be a signatory, all they have to do is sign this.
okay,
They don't have to have licenses and all that good kind of stuff because they already have it on record.
okay.
So
Pass it down and sign it.
pass it down and sign it.
Beautiful.
All right. The rest of the CD.
Yeah, was it a 7-month, Reggie?
It's 7 months.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the receipt. I don't know, Donna, should we give this to you?
Yes,
File?
please.
All right. And then I had the responsibility of transferring $2,989.82 from the 2-4 Perry Street into our SRA operating account, and that was complete. Let me give this receipt as well. While I was there, I talked extensively to the bank manager about what other financial programs they might have. And they came up and told me they do have another money market that is more flexible with a high yield than we have with the CD. As you know, if you take any money out of the CD, we get compromised. So that one is there for 7 months. They do have and when I take this information back, I'll put that information. They do have a money market that you can deposit and you can withdraw dollars without a penalty. That's also, I think that interest wasn't quite 5, but it was like 4.8 or something like that. So I said that I would get the information, and once I got the signatures, and try to figure out how to email it to everybody, just so that you can take a look at it, and see if, because I know we had talked about the possibility of doing another CD sometime in the not too distant future, but it was flexible because I asked them, I said, gee, I said, I realize this is not going to make a whole lot of money. I said, but we're limited in terms of what types of resources that we will be getting in. Is there anything that we could do that would give us that flexibility to get to our money if we need it? And that's what he indicated. Yeah, no, they have another approach. So if I can get you at some point a copy of that so you have it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, real specific though, that's got social security information on that.
But the, oh yeah,
Yeah.
on there now,
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
you know,
Should use the last 4 digits, but it is what it is, so.
yeah. But we can black out the ones that we keep here.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But the ones I guess that they need for there.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine, but.
So at the end of May, our account was at little over $52,000. But since May, we're taking $10,000 out. So
Yeah.
the account is substantially lower than that at this point. You know, we're still in pretty good shape.
So we pay the legal bill.
Until we pay it.
Give us the good news first, Reggie, right?
Legal bill is something else. The information resides with the accountant now. In terms of the annual review. I did indicate to them that we will write the narrative, so that they don't have to do that.
Okay.
Charge us extra dollars. One of the things that she had indicated was that, because I told her about 2-4 Perry Street, that we probably would be coming in for something there next year. And one of the things that she said that would be very helpful is that if we had a card, I don't know if we have a card for 2-4 Perry Street. They said it would be a lot easier for them to be able to get everything from the card as opposed to having small receipts.
We've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said that I would bring that up, because right now we got little receipts from Osco's, Stop and Shop, and little things like that. But she had indicated that they need to take a look at all of that. Sometimes it gets a little confusing when you see it, as opposed to having something that comes from the account itself. And that's it.
All right.
The one thing I haven't been able to do, and they sent me something again today on that Bartholomew.
There you go, I was gonna bring that up. Okay.
Yeah, that Bartholomew thing.
Yeah.
I filled out one form. And then they sent me another form today, right?
Did you
And
get it paper or electronic?
electronic,
Yeah, I couldn't fill it out.
and
Well, the questions they're asking on it are
you got it too?
pretty in-depth, yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty in depth. And then when it got down to the point where they wanted, you click on the sign, and I was like, hey, I don't know the person that sent me this
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I filled it out. I was able to fill it out,
Yeah.
But then when I got to the signature piece, I was like, I'm not signing this. Right? 'Cause I don't know this
I
person.
didn't even get that far.
Yeah, I had decided for us to do the withdrawal, but I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah,
It's just-
so I'm not sure what that was all
They
about.
didn't have my correct address.
Yeah.
They had another property that I owned,
Yeah.
and they wanted me to know what county it's in, and I don't know. what
That's, I
county
mean,
it's in.
to the point where it got to the point where where did my daughter live? I'd like, well, stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I started asking those types of questions,
A car I had back in,
Oh,
in
and
the early 90s.
yeah, mine was cars too. I've only ever owned a Ford or Lincoln Mercury,
yeah.
and it was like a Hyundai.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family's ever owned it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never owned any of these cars. So
And if you look
I-
at this address, that you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
no.
so I didn't fill it out,
Everything is
because they
done.
keep sending it to me, and I
Yeah, I
looked
got
at
it,
it today,
yeah.
so he's like,
yeah, I got it today, and I looked at it and I said, let me go ahead and fill this
So
out.
what do you think we should do then?
I think we should reach out to them and see if,
Well, Donna, you did, didn't you?
I did, and Amanda confirmed that the reason why they said that was to put you as signatories on the investment portfolio.
right, so you can take a withdrawal. or
But
whatever
did you
it is.
guys have to do that when you opened it, Reggie? Do you remember?
I wasn't here when we opened it, but but I got to be a signatory.
Yeah, you didn't
I
have to
didn't
do
do all
it.
that.
I had to do it when we made the disbursement of the account.
Okay.
That was, so I did.
But he was added one time along, and he didn't have to do it when he was
Yeah,
added to
I think
it.
it's more to do with disbursements, rather,
Okay.
if you're gonna take funds out of it, you need to
Yeah,
sign
we
your
need to
life,
answer
sign your
those
life away, and, who's your second grade teacher, and it was just.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I said I was gonna, because I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to sign something.
Right.
All of a sudden,
All right, so
everybody's liable.
how are we leaving this thing? We're just not gonna bother, and you're the only one on it? How are we gonna leave it?
I mean, if you don't feel comfortable signing, I think you send her an email and say, hey,
Well, I just need to know more about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because, first of all, I don't pay, anytime somebody sends me something on electronically and they ask me for specific information,
Yeah.
I delete it.
Yeah.
Because I don't give anybody.
I mean, yeah, it's
information.
beyond your mother's maiden name.
You know,
I
yeah.
mean, really, it's
Right.
beyond your mother's
So,
maiden name. So,
when I see those things, so I get tons of emails,
Yeah.
and if I don't recognize
I don't blame you.
the
Yeah.
individual that's sending me
No, I
something,
don't respond.
Yeah.
delete it,
Yeah, I don't blame
So
you.
I did recognize by following.
Yeah.
Right,
Then
right.
when I went down, and I was filling it out, and I got to sign here, and I was like, what the hell am I signing?
yeah,
Right.
your
You know,
firstborn.
And then I said, I need to go and talk to
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah.
They may know something more than I do.
And
I said,
Peter
I'm not
asked
gonna-
too, so that's why I emailed Amanda. And I
Yeah.
said, are you sending these out because you're trying to add them as signatories to the investment portfolio? And she said, yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
I think I did see that response, yeah.
yeah, so, that was it for me.
All right, well, I'll keep my name off.
All
the
I know is I want my
signature.
85 star rating back. They listed it on there, so I
Oh,
want it back. I missed that guy.
So does anyone have
So it turned up things.
Bob's the only one who has his name on it.
But again, they sent it to me, so they, I don't know if they want an update version but,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I just-
so, I guess what I'm saying is, because I don't have
Yeah.
access to it, I don't know how much money we have together.
Correct, yeah.
Well, they usually come once a year. That was on that sheet of paper. I was gonna ask you too
Yeah.
about the thing you sent out. We usually meet with them every year.
Yeah, but they have a statement that comes out every month,
Right.
Okay.
so that you can see how much money you have earned or how much money you have lost.
So who gets that statement?
The only person that can get access to it right now is Bob.
Okay. See, this is all the stuff. Now, that thing that I sent you, that little piece of paper with the calendar,
Yes.
with the names of the companies, I know you did something, I got it
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
But there's no names and account numbers.
There's
in it.
no names and account numbers, so it's a
Work in progress?
work in progress.
Okay, as long as you didn't lose that.
So, one of the things you'll notice on that
Yes.
little chart,
Yeah,
and we can add things
Right.
to it as we go along, where there are 4 locations on there that have X's all through the
Yes.
line. And that's because, on some of these things, I'll be putting account
Okay.
numbers.
okay.
And I thought because it's gonna be a written document, that we might not wanna be able to put our money account numbers, on that.
Right, yeah, I guess the thing is though too, like, did the rent get paid? I don't know how to access it.
Right.
Donna, we don't have any, we need a standard sheet that has the account numbers. But I look at it this way, it's not like anybody can go and take money out without 2 signatures. So, okay, they get your bank account number, what good is it gonna do that? Verizon has my routing number and my bank account number.
Yeah, that's
They
why
can
I
take
did.
out their Verizon, but they can't take out,
That's why I brought it here, because I didn't
Yeah.
want to be the decider
Yeah.
of putting out personal information. But if it's okay, I mean, we got it.
it's account numbers.
We have all the account numbers.
Right, but it's good to have a master sheet,
Yep.
so we can
And
have.
so it'll go, because it's work in progress.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you'll see, kind of like who, and then when,
Yeah,
and whether it's the contact person in terms of, it might be an automatic payment, might be the treasurer, might be the president, and then there was 2 or 3 of those little sections. There was the president / vice president.
yeah,
In the event that the president wasn't available, then the vice president would be responsible So it's a work in progress,
Yeah.
but we've got,
No, I saw you started, yep.
Can I ask one quick question about the CD? This says 11 months.
well, that would change, because I told you seven
Yeah, both pages say 11.
months. I told him we might re-up it, but, because 11 months was a little bit less than,
Yeah.
so I might have to redo
Did
that.
they give you like a passbook, or do they still do that anymore?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
Now, they might.
So they didn't give you like an original statement, like $10,000?
They gave me the receipt,
Just that?
just that receipt with the account number on it.
Okay.
And put it back in the envelope.
But I will meander up there tomorrow and, because I know exactly who I talked to and what I said, it was 7 months. Because 7 months was a little more
Right,
Right.
yeah.
than 11 months.
Right.
That's how that goes. The longer it goes, the little shorter period it is.
Now, on these bills, are they electronically, what bills are you still writing out?
I still got the Verizon and the National Grid for Perry and Pearl Street, and I did talk to Reggie, and I said that I could work on that
Electronically?
electronically.
Okay. Otherwise, it's just basically the rent that you have to get.
The rent, the
Check to
cleaning.
you. Yeah, okay. I mean, the less least you have to do, the better. Right,
Right.
Right.
Perry Street will be one where we'll probably have to write,
yeah.
we'll probably have to write checks.
Okay, yeah.
For the rehab. That's why it's.
Yeah. All right, anybody else have questions on any of that? So now we get to the payment of the legal bills. All right, who wants to talk about these legal bills? I guess we have to pay them, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's everybody's thought on this? I mean,
The last letter that I saw, or the last bill that I saw that came in from, bad with names, but the young lady,
Jenny.
Jen, it basically said we owe X amount of dollars.
Yes.
And they are expecting to be paid regardless if we think when waste will pay the bill.
Yeah, and
Technically, I think that Wind Waste will not pay the bill.
I'm betting with you, Reggie.
And to get them to pay the bill will probably cost us
More money.
another $29,000. Kind of knew this was happening as soon as we lawyered up. Because I just got out of a case where it was a substantial amount of dollars, and I decided to stop the case because,
Business decision.
yeah, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't worth it.
That usually happens.
but I just, from my perspective, and, asked repeatedly, with them on the phone, do we need to pay these? No. Are you sure? I don't understand how you just arbitrarily can not take payment for your services. No, don't pay them. And, and then we come back and not only do you have to pay them, you're talking bills from January. I mean, it's just, obviously it's legal fees, it is what it is, but I just don't like the way that, like I said, I've asked here several times, it just didn't make sense to me, even if it, even if we were to litigate and at some point 2 years from now, we were lucky enough to win or have them pay our fees, I just don't see how a firm could wait for their funds. So that was the only thing that kind of concerned me as far as, paying the bill. But, we owe them the money. I don't know for cash flow reasons if we want to pay half and half. Or at least get us to, where we're, within 30 days. I mean,
mean, these bills go back,
Well, they were all the
Since we
way back to
started.
the beginning.
Yeah,
you know, which was a good year ago. Oh, 9 and 23.
that to me is just a
That
shame,
seems-
absolute shame.
Were we charged late fees at all? Because if so, I would argue it.
I didn't see any in there, no. I mean,
it.
it is what it is. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate
Yeah,
that,
thoughts, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, most of this was before my
Right.
tenure in here, so.
I think they may have thought they had a case
yeah,
at some point, you know, and then, you know, somebody higher up on the food chain probably said, you know, hey,
Yeah.
this is not gonna work,
yeah.
and we need to get our money, and then we can discuss going further, you know, if they.
That's probably exactly what happened, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, so, however we pay it, I'd hate to see our operating account, you know, really go below, you know, $35,000. I'm sure we have dollars in our, portfolio that we could. There's a couple of ways, you know, we could take money from our operating account, pay it, and if it falls short somewhere down the line, transfer the dollars, out of, electric.
Well, what I see in here is we have this total of 29,000, but the last invoice, 807, and this is what I find really sad, that we had to pay them $852.50, and I'm not blaming them, to find out about our tax exempt status.
Yeah,
That's shameful.
yeah.
That town council couldn't. So, it's a tax bill. We're paying a tax bill to not pay a tax bill.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, talk to town council about that, and this pilot program or whatever. Jenny has it. I didn't know she'd already talked to him all about it. So I don't even know if this $852.50 did any good.
Well, I can tell you, it didn't do it good.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
So I think, well, I guess what I'm getting at is, I know Donna totaled it to $29,872.50. I think we should take off $852.50 and pay the $852.50 from the Perry Street account and pay the $290,000 $29,020 even from the regular account. Does that, I think I did the math right. Does that make sense to you guys? Keep Perry with
Well,
Perry?
the 800 and some odd, I think is legitimately
Coming from
Perry.
Yeah, does that make sense? Did I do the math right?
I don't know if you did the math right, but I can see the concept.
0, 0, 0, 5, that's 2, 0, yeah, 29020, period.
From regular account.
From the regular account.
And how much was from the Perry account?
852.50.
Thank you.
and there's no other instances where we asked them to do anything regarding Perry Street.
That on 524, obviously, that's reviewing some tax records
Yeah.
with town council. And we haven't, nobody's spoken to her since. We did send her the correspondence about, the pilot program. And I'm just,
And then she emailed us, oh, this seems like they're gonna make a decision on this around the 18th. Is that your understanding? And I contacted the
and I
chair.
just wrote, yeah.
Because I wasn't gonna write a lengthy,
Just next
It's
time-
still a quarter of an hour.
Yeah, no, do a Y, you won't get charged. You do a yes, we're getting,
Oh, okay. I'll
But
keep that.
anyways, yeah, I mean, that's, obviously,
Yeah.
that's towards, that's towards Perry Street, and that makes sense to,
Right. So does somebody want to make maybe 2 separate motions?
Well, you can make it into one, just spell it out the way you just did, if that's how you're gonna do it. You make a motion that 800, was it 850.50? Is that what it was?
Shoot, that's 29,000.
Yeah, but what was the Perry Street?
852.50.
852.50 dedicated out of the initial amount of 29,872.50.
Yeah. We'll come from Perry Street.
All right, 85250 will go to Perry Street,
Yeah.
and the remaining
29020, period, 00 cents.
will come out of the regular.
Hey, can we get,
Can I get a second on that?
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, John, you got those amounts?
Who made the initial motion? Thank you.
I just cringe seeing that amount from taxes.
can I just as a follow-up to that?
Sure.
Is there any, can we get a hard copy,
I have this right here.
you know, on a disc or something, of that, everything that's pertaining to this, from, you know, from the start? I mean, we're paying 29,000 for the legal fees, emails and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm just seeing things in here, you know, had, contact DEP regarding solar use application, you know, I'd really like to get a listing of, you know, what transpired, who talked to who, you know, and if this
Yeah.
ever comes up, did you ever talk with DEP? We've got it. We paid for it, I think.
Well, that's a great idea. I'd like to have copies of it. I
You
think
know,
Donna
I just-
does usually do stuff, but I don't know if we.
So usually
Yeah, well-
itemized, the bills are usually itemized for what they're billing for, because it's for every little
Right, but
thing.
it's more of a case file per se,
Right.
where we could, you know what I mean? I understand the billing, hey, we had a conversation
Right.
for half an hour. What transpired during that?
I don't remember.
Right, I don't remember the
Right.
conversation he had with DEP regarding the solar use and
Right.
application. So, you know, it would be good to have that, especially if we can get it before we pay the bill, but no, you know, let's get that on file for future reference, and, you know, if someone has a question, we can come back, hey, we talked to council in October about this, and this is what we were told, you know?
Right.
That's gonna be expensive though.
You really think so? I think it should be included with the services that we pay.
The bill should be itemized that
it
way.
should be itemized that way.
It should, but again, discussion background, okay, with the DEP on the solar array. That, you know, that took 30 minutes, you know.
Well, what-
Right, that bill doesn't tell me what transpired,
Yeah,
who you
but-
spoke with, you know, what the conversation was, what the outcome was, you know what I mean?
And they should have notes on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if she's talking
Well,
to
I
us
see
in
what Bob is
executive session, Donna's taking notes in executive session. So if we wanted to know what happened on May 1st, we should be able to pull up the May 1st
That's,
executive
good point.
session mentions, and Donna would say, Bob talked to so-and-so about a picnic lunch, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And that's what the half-an-hour conversation was.
Right, I mean, right now, I don't think anyone here can answer that question as to contacting DEP regarding solar use application and what that application pertained to. Who said what, who you speak to, what was the conversation for?
Yeah.
So it's not an executive session minutes, it's not Dawn or something.
Right.
They had a conversation, what
Yeah, it's
transpired.
outside the meeting, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, I just, you know, I mean.
All right, so how do we do that? Do we
I don't know, I mean, that's something we can certainly ask her for, but I mean, if we're in July and they're having a conversation with the town and they say, did you talk to the DEP about
Right.
the solar array? Yes, this is what we, you know, this is what we have on
Yeah.
record, rather than, let me look at the bill. Yeah, we talked to them a half an hour, I don't know what was said, but, you know.
I didn't talk to him, I didn't talk to him.
Right, you know, you paid for it, but anyways, I don't know, you know, I don't think it's, you know, I think in anything, you can, and Reggie, you could probably know, in legal cases, I've gotten printouts of what transpired, what was said, you know. I don't think it should cost us
Right,
anything.
because they could be lying. If they don't share with us what was said,
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think you're
It's
right.
their ethical obligation.
I just personally just got out of a legal case, and I have
There you go.
I had,
You know?
once the case was over, I had all the depositions and everything that was pertaining to it. So
Right.
it's at least six inches thick.
Yeah.
I'll volunteer to get in contact with her. And the first part of the conversation will be, you know, we don't want to pay for this conversation.
Yeah, right.
You know, to be on record for
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, that, you know, we need to have, you know, I won't be, I'll be very nice in terms of, you know, all of us 5 years from now will be gone.
Absolutely.
You know, and,
Absolutely.
you know, somebody will need to know what transpired.
Right,
So
right.
if I get the telephone number and, what was
Right,
it,
yes.
Jen?
Yeah.
I mean, we do have.
It's better than a napkin.
We do have the,
And let them know that, you know,
I don't know. It's
we want to
just,
pay the bill.
right,
We're going to pay the bill, but, you know, if we can get that information,
right.
it would expedite it.
yeah, Donna gave me, so this is what we just paid for, these 3 pages. This is the timeline. 1, 2, 3. Really, it's only 2.
And that's what, for the exemption on Perry Street?
This is all the legal
middle?
stuff on page 2.
Oh, page 2.
It's 2 pages.
2, it's only 2, the last
Two
one is
pages.
just their letterhead. Oh, boy.
Took the wrong courses.
Yeah.
All right, so we've made the thing to pay the legal bills. I think anything else we need to talk about legal bills?
But on the legal bills, am I gonna get in contact with her first?
If you want to, do you want to make a motion?
To try to get that, you know, with
Do we
all
have
the
to-
notes, all the notes associated.
I mean, you could certainly say, hey, we reviewed it at our meeting last night, and as we reviewed it, it came to our attention that, you know, there's been some correspondence between you and outside agencies. We're not aware of those, and we'd like to get some type of documentation pertaining to
So
that.
it's more the outside agencies.
We don't,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't need it.
Right. Okay, all right, no vote
You know,
needed.
and-
So I just need telephone number and
Okay, I can get you that.
send it to me. And her name, because I'm gonna forget her name again.
Can I speak with the young lady? It's not gonna do you well.
Nope.
Okay, so Donna, you're up next for the Windows 11 upgrade.
Oh, my husband does IT, and starting in 2025, Windows 10 is gonna be unsupported. He was recommending that we upgrade the laptops to Windows 11. I did talk to Trish. She said Windows 10 will still work. It's just if any questions
It's
come
not
up,
supported, yeah.
they won't, Microsoft won't answer them.
Right.
And she also mentioned that Windows 11 moves slower. So it sounds like for now, the town IT department is recommending that we stay with Windows 10. So
Town didn't go to 365? Stoughton hasn't gone to that yet? Windows 365?
I don't know.
Are we part of their system?
We are.
The computers come from there? And everything?
No, we bought the laptops ourselves.
Well, what about the software? Do they take care of the software?
Generally, when we have issues, they do help us out, or if they're not able to, my husband does.
Well, 365 is pretty pricey, that's what I'm saying. If the town went with it, how would we be able to get on the same system under Windows 365?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go with that or not. She was just saying stick with the Windows 10.
All right, item 10, furniture at the Hanson School. Bobby Desmond, you're on deck.
I'll be there. Felt like I'm at the West Coast, but anyways, Peter and I met Donna, we were able to get those chairs out of that, and we dropped them off over at 2 Perry Street, so I think we're good to go as far as that's concerned.
And the D, do you want to say anything about the dehumidifier?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that.
It's the CPCs.
Yeah.
So they can do what they,
And ours,
what's that?
and ours.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it was jointly paid for.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he didn't tell me that, okay.
You want to let them keep it, which I don't blame them, right?
The only thing was, and again, on being on the CPC meeting, the gentleman that took over for the,
Stoughton Musical Society?
yes, they're in the process of taking all their records off the floor, putting them into filing cabinets, and he came in front of us on the CPC meeting and was indicating that he could use a humidifier. You know, and so I saw it there. Donna, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't plugged in, right?
It had been, but somebody, on a regular basis, it was plugged in, someone unplugged it.
Okay, all
It
right.
wasn't when we were there. was it?
Okay, it wasn't plugged
But
in.
it had been.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, so I would just leave it there. And I'm not sure they're aware that, you know, you had indicated they want to take that wall down and get that stuff out of there. I'm not sure they're, you know, I just saw a humidifier there saying, it's just sitting here, why don't we use it until he gets his? And, you know, but, yeah, I'll scratch that. That was overreach on my part, so.
Oh, I mean, it's something we could talk to the CPC about, because the SRA definitely got a juice out of it.
Yeah.
Because I used to go to that office at work, and before it, the SRA paid for it. There was mold on everything in that office.
Where do they want to move it to?
They got money from CPC.
No, just the humidifier.
Well, just let them have it,
Yeah,
just
that's
to
what
let
I'm
them
thinking.
have it.
Yeah.
But we own it with the CPC, so So they have to agree to give up their share to the Stearns.
Yeah, no, so that's gonna fall on deaf ears. They want it there, because as you can tell, they still have all their filing cabinets and everything else like that, so they're gonna take care of it there. I didn't realize, someone unplugged it, and I think they're under the impression that it's turned on a regular basis. I don't know,
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't unplug it, so someone from the school must have unplugged it.
Okay. All right, I'll have to bring that to their attention, but thank you for that, appreciate it, so. Okay, yep, so that's where that stands.
All right, 11, I think we covered this, Reggie, updated calendar and contact list. Yep, we covered it. Work in progress. All right, action item list. So it looks like things that don't have an end date on them are Reggie agreed to begin to complete spreadsheet of due dates for bills, which is done. Reggie, geez, you're getting whacked tonight. Prepare annual report for the EOLHC or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie, contact utilities, have them set up direct deposit.
I can do that.
That's Donna now, okay. Reggie, transfer 29 from the Perry Street, he did that. And send Donna May bank statement. That's you, Bob. Did you send Donna the May bank statement?
I thought I did.
I believe you did.
Yeah, it's in the package, so.
Yeah.
Somebody
Okay.
did it too.
Oh, sorry, it is checked off.
Yeah.
Peter agreed to assist Donna with review of the SRA files in the back office.
I gave that to Rich.
You did? Okay.
That was another one I forgot.
But the thing is, they can't be shred, you said, until,
You just gotta send a thing into the state. How far, what's the most recent, what are the most recent documents that are in the boxes? I mean, more, really current or like 5 minutes?
I'd have to actually review it. I mean, one box is complete duplicates, so I mean, it was like Forest working file and it contained things in it that weren't even SRA related.
That can be destroyed. That, you don't even need that. That's somebody else's records, so that can be destroyed.
Right, the files from town hall though, dated back to the 60s.
So they're that old. Okay.
Was it 7 years or something?
7 years after the last handling of whatever the issue was. Yeah.
so can those old ones just be chucked out too?
Probably, yeah, we'll just take a list of, make the list on the thing, fill out the form of what's in it, we'll just read the box. We don't have to go through it.
And can you just put them in a recycle bin?
No, they have to be destroyed, they have to be shredded.
And we missed the opportunity with the town.
Yeah,
Well,
there's some other
we'd have to
stuff.
hire a company anyways.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Bonfire.
Yeah, but I
Well,
think
you do have 4 accounts at Abington Bank.
Yeah.
And Abington Bank has a program, a shredding program.
Yeah.
And it comes out every now and then,
oh, that's right, that's right.
But they'd have to provide a certificate of destruction, wouldn't they?
I think they do, yeah,
Bank.
yeah. And it's, and it's very simple at that point, so that's where I left off with it, on that. So if they're that old, I think all we're gonna do is just,
Okay, when I go to the bank tomorrow, I'll inquire about when, where, how, certificates and all that
Thank
stuff.
you.
So we'll keep that on there then. Okay.
these are town hall records and not SRA records?
They were SRA records that
Oh,
were
but they're stored over there, okay. I
in the
got you.
basement of town hall.
I got you. As long as there's no plans or anything in those, do we know of? I haven't looked at the boxes, I apologize for that.
I don't, well, there were, I mean, obviously some files, but they were, again, very old, dating, that pertaining to, the golf course parcel of the landfill.
Yep.
So there are some landfill documents in there
If
dating,
it still exists, then we need to keep it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll go for it.
but most of them are, invoices from vendors.
Oh, yeah, they can be destroyed.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
All those can be destroyed, so we'll get it together, list on that.
So really the forest box is the only box left, you have to have proof of destroying that or not? All right, so we really don't,
That's not official business.
all right, so we really don't have an issue then if we have to keep these records of the land, I mean, right, we want any of this landfill stuff, we really should keep. Okay, we have a vote on the executive session minutes from May 16th, 2024, meeting to be approved in open session. Does everybody look at the executive session from May 16th. Does anyone want to make the motion on it or not, or a question?
Questions?
I don't have any questions, so I'll make a motion that we accept the executive session meeting minutes from May 16th, May 16th.
Peter seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Everybody approved. Number 14, 24 Perry Street tax exemption.
Can't we just read the bill?
Right.
We don't even know, I guess we're waiting something, a pilot program from,
Yes, Mr. Zoll said that they should be hearing from town council on around July 18th about,
paid for. Why is it July? Yeah.
about a decision on it.
Okay. So hence we wait.
Hurry up and wait.
So
I just don't
maybe,
think that answers the question, though. I mean, the pilot program could be, hey, instead of paying us $6,000 a year, you only have to pay us $3,000, or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. So that's not really a tax exempt status.
Right.
Which is what we've asked for from 2 different councils.
Right.
Yeah.
so maybe we should put that on this action item listed on it, July 18th, just so when we come close to it, we can say, hey, do we know anything? And if we get nothing from them, then we'll contact Jenny and we'll ask why we spent this $862, right?
We'll have Reggie do that.
You're talking to the lawyers, right?
No, we'll ask what we spent this $862 on,
Oh, right.
if it's something that's not in our favor.
Yeah, I'll tell you, tax exempt, if they have a special program, generally speaking, and now I'm speaking from my experience from being on the Boston Redevelopment Trust. If you own property as a development authority, you do pay taxes on that property. You might get a reduction
Okay,
because of some kind of public use or something. Now, I've never heard of sort of this plan here, and that's why, when I prepared that, sort of initial budget, I put the $6,000
Yeah.
in the budget.
leave it in there, right?
Because I really do believe that, that they probably will deny it, and, the town does need as much revenue as they can get.
Of course.
Because if somebody's gonna pay it.
Right.
If it ain't us, somebody's
And
gonna pay it.
my husband reiterated what Reggie's saying, being that he was on the assessment board, that most likely the town would consider a reduction, but not a total exemption. And it would usually be for a set period of time.
So I think, we got and thank you for that, I appreciate that, without being under $52 now. But what are we gonna do for the first quarter? I mean, we'll probably make that tax payment and then wait, whatever the decision they come back with, then we'll just offset that, I'm assuming.
Is it going to the right place yet, though? We
File
haven't
for
had
rebate.
that.
Yeah, you'd have to file for an abatement, because
Yeah.
tax bills go out on the first.
And the tax bill's going up twice a year?
4 times.
4 times quarterly.
Yeah, quarterly. And just so you know, there is no trash in Perry Street, in that little form. You wrote trash, question.
Yes.
We don't have a trash bill. Okay,
Now, I put it in there, I will say I put it in there, because when we do get tenants, are we gonna require all the tenants to take their trash with them? Or, because I did look into, there's a private company
I think we could ask the town, if they're not giving us a typically,
just to pick it up.
pick up.
And they can charge us for it. It's $41 a quarter on residential, put it that way. There is a private company that will pick it up once a week
don't think we're gonna, this proposal's not gonna be a lot of trash, I mean,
Should
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna leave it in, fine, but I just wanted you to know, right
Yeah.
now, we're not paying anything,
Right.
so that's that. I know it's not on the agenda, but the urban renewal plan. And I put it on the agenda because it just seems to be not going anywhere. I looked up all the bills that were paid. I looked at the motion that was made when Mark was still here. And it appeared that we were supposed to receive a bill from them. We never received it. They haven't done what they said they were going to do. Bob's, Bob, I'll toss it over to you. You can.
Yeah, no, I did, I just, sent Jeff an email on 6/3 and asked him for an update. Have you done the changes?
you respond?
And, no.
Because I contacted the company.
Okay.
And Bob has had a medical challenge. So he has been out
Okay.
for a little bit. I think something happened with the county.
Right.
Something happened to his, one or both of his legs.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know, because the last time we had talked,
Yeah.
he hadn't responded. And I was like, hey, that's not
Oh, you
like
said
it.
Bob, his name's Jeff.
yes.
Oh, I thought somebody else. Okay, so
No.
something happened to Jeff.
And so I contacted
Bigwig?
Bob is the big wig.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, but it was, you know, they said, and they did tell me, they said, wow, Bob's been out for months.
Jeff.
Jeff has been out for a while. And,
You think somebody would be answering this?
Because his email came back, I will be out of the office today, please get in touch with Heather. So I sent a follow-up email to Heather and said, hey, can you tweet something with this request? And today's 6/12 and sent him an email on 6/3. So I, you know, I feel bad that he's out, but, you know, next person up, you know.
That's
So,
yeah, because I had sent him something back in red, and I didn't get a response. I was like, "Geez,
okay. So I don't know if we want to have another conversation with that individual that you spoke with and said, you know, what's the game plan for getting this back
I
on
made
track?
contact with Heather.
Okay.
I just knew that Jeff was kind of Heather's boss.
Jeff was Heather's boss. Okay.
Right.
all right.
Yeah. You know, so I figured, you know, hey, let me just, you know, identify myself as Stoughton Redevelopment Authority. You know, we owe you some money. They're trying to get some answers, and that's what I got.
Yeah, they've just been kicked. This has been going on since I got on, 2.5 years. And you know, I'm not for this thing, but this is like the slowest, this is like watching paint dry. It's painful. It's painful. You know?
You know, the funny thing about the urban renewal plan is it's great to have one. The only advantage, the record will reflect that I initially voted against this, is the eminent domain power. Other than that, we can do without the urban renewal plan, all of the things that we wanted to do. With the exception of the urban renewal plan says if we buy this building, we're responsible for relocating and paying for everybody to go somewhere. As a redevelopment authority, without an urban renewal program, we can buy whatever we want to buy, and we don't have those constraints.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest advantage is, even though there's no guarantee, but the biggest advantage in terms of the urban renewal plan is it puts you in line for getting state resources. So if you did buy a building and you had to relocate somebody, we could go to the state and say, hey, look, we need X dollars to relocate these people because we want to do X, Y, Z, and we're going to create X amount of jobs, so much housing, or whatever it might be. And they do have different pots of money that they could grant. They could grant us without having us to pay it back.
Right, but though in a sense, you're saying, they're giving you the carry, that's what they're giving you to do the plan. But like you're saying, if you just did it on your own, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
That's right.
And bottom line is, we don't have any money to buy anything, we have to go through town meeting.
Well,
We can't take out a loan, we don't have, what do we got?
well,
We got 2-4 Perry Street.
Yeah.
I think that, if we had to go out and borrow money, as a redevelopment authority, we would be, now.
That's by statute.
Yeah, that's by statute.
But the town,
Town's not on the hook.
okay,
No, it's not just the SRO.
Yeah, that's why I said when we bought 2-4 Perry Street,
yeah,
that we're on the hook
right,
for Perry Street,
Right.
correct? But we got it at a fairly good
Right.
price.
Right.
So that if we had to
sell it,
sell it, we're minimal, we're gonna get our money
right,
back.
exactly.
Now, if we took out a $5 million loan, that's a little bit different,
It's just like anybody, you, Bob, or myself going in for the same thing. What is your collateral? If you don't have it, you're not getting it.
So, and the idea really was, even with the urban renewal plan, was not for the redevelopment authority to buy anything. It was to link up with a private developer. They bring most of the money, and whatever state resources that the redevelopment authority could bring, because the private developers couldn't get it, but
It's a vehicle, right, yeah.
that would be vehicle.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, we might get a piece of the developer's fee.
Sure.
But the ownership would be with the private developer, because we didn't want to be landlords.
Hence Boston Medical Center.
Yes.
Everything down on there was all BRA.
That's right.
All right, so, I guess we'll do our next meeting without Donna on May 26th.
June.
Yeah, June 26th.
We're going on the 18th, right?
And the 18th will be at the select board meeting, that's when they have it tentatively scheduled.
And we have to have a minimum of 3 people.
Would have to have quorum, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, skipping up on. And the agenda should come out tomorrow, and I can send it to everybody, and we'll see what time, I mean, they can take
That's
things
next
out.
week, what you're saying.
Yeah, they can take things out of order. I mean, I hope they put us first to just get us over with. But,
Yeah.
common citizens, things, you never know what's gonna happen in the select board.
The last time that I participated,
Yeah, last.
dead last. Meeting started, whatever time the meeting, 6,
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
It was like 9:15 when they called us up. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, if I had known this, I'd show up at 9
Right,
o'clock.
exactly. All right, so anybody else have anything else that they want to talk about before we go into executive session? All right, so we're going to enter into executive session to consider possible acquisition of property for the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chairman decides that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the position of the public body pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, subsection 21A-6.
Motion to enter
Lease for
executive session.
100.
Second.
And we will adjourn from executive session.
We won't come back.
We won't come back. Have a great night, everybody.